Today started out like any other day. I woke up, I went straight to the kitchen, and I heated up some avocado oil to prepare some corn tortilla shells to fry. Why do this? Well, I was making some huevo rancheros, and I was in the deepest of all kinds of hunger for this very particular breakfast. And boy oh boy was it very good. Then I decided to go for a walk around the neighborhood. I thought this would be great to wake me up and get me acclimated to the day, so that way I could face it with strength and vigor. Once I got home, I decided to take a shower at around 15 minutes. But to keep myself energized and quick, I listened to the Hunchback of Notre Dame soundtrack from the Disney film from the mid-90s, which definitely had a spunky, fun energy to it that got me moving fast and getting clean. It was actually quite fun to shower with the music on, I have to admit. After that experience, I got out of the shower and I really wanted to work on my motion comic that I worked on yesterday. But the problem was the time was running short and I simply did not have enough time to work on it. Although I did get dressed for work and combed my hair and put on my socks and shoes, and I had just enough time to put in like a good 8 minutes in, but that is clearly not enough for a project that requires this much focus. The best I can say is that I was looking for transformation sequences in a certain part of the motion comic that will definitely add a lot of life to the story. Finally, after all of this, I drove to work, and the first 4 hours were pretty smooth. The first hour was spent carting, and the next 3 hours were spent bagging. It was someone's birthday today. Very nice. In fact, it was cool because there were some of her coworkers who brought a cake in as a surprise gift without her knowledge, and she didn't find out until she got to the back room and saw the cake for herself, which was really cool. I really like it when people are surprised on their birthday. It's very fun. I even wished her a happy birthday myself. When I arrived at work, I did greet everyone there. I actually greeted one cashier, but then I felt obligated to greet everyone else because I felt like I was ignoring everyone else if I didn't greet them. So that's what I did. Boy oh boy, was it quite a non-stop thrill ride, pushing those carts and sweeping the floors. There was always something to do, and it was always busy, and very fun. I did enjoy a lot of it, mostly because it gave me something to do and made me feel like I was part of a community. Then I drove to, almost forgot, there was one thing that was what one would describe as a little bit of drama, and it was that when I was working, there was a customer who called me not my name, but some other coworker's name, and it shouldn't have gone to me. I shouldn't have taken it personally, but for whatever reason, it tipped me off. I honestly don't know why. I guess I just wasn't expecting to be called that name, and it really bugged me. That's really the best I could say. I even argued about it with one of my coworkers. Now, they said practically what I said. Don't take it personally. They probably just don't, remember because they're not always interacting with you, which is completely fair. But yeah, I remember getting a little annoyed by that for a good hour before my first break, where I was able to calm down by doing some breathing exercises, and I was able to lower my cortisol level and help me regulate my emotions, which was nice. Okay, so I went home for lunch, and there was an unexpected surprise today, and that was the fact that my mom made some delicious cookies that were made out of coconut oil, which gave them a unique taste, I must say, very coconut taste. That's the thing with coconut, it's very distinct with its flavor profile, and because of that, that's why I'm not crazy about using coconut in any baked good, unless it's supposed to be a coconut flavored baked good. because I can notice the coconut flavor immediately. But apparently my mom used the coconut oil because we were out of butter today, or she wanted to conserve on butter and instead use a more plentiful resource, and we have plenty of coconut oil. They were good cookies, I would say. I would have preferred butter though, personally. And I also had 3 chicken tenders, for which I put the frozen chicken tenders into a air fryer, and it was at 380 degrees for 14 minutes, for which I would continuously flip them every 3 or 4 minutes to ensure even cooking on both sides of the chicken tenders. It was pretty good. My mom arrived when I was about to leave, or just close to leaving, about 15 to 20 minutes away. She greeted me, I greeted her, and she said she had a headache and needed to take a rest, so that's exactly what she did. Then, after I was done with my meal, I arrived back at work, and I distinctly felt very lethargic because I ate 4 of those cookies, and they were like this big. And I really shouldn't have eaten 4 of those cookies. Sort of a slowed down state of consciousness that I was not a huge fan of and wish that I didn't have to go through. Well, anywho, after that, it was a good 2 hours of bagging and a good 2 hours of carts. And during carts, I did notice there was a red blinking light in the sky far off in the horizon. It stayed in the exact same spot throughout my entire karting session until the last half hour, where it suddenly just disappeared. I found that quite interesting. I mean, it could have easily been a plane, but me and my, interests in UFOs and the paranormal, I would like to think it was a UFO, but it probably wasn't. Well, one can dream, right? That's literally one of my bucket list things. Like, I just want to see one confirmed UFO in real life, not on the internet. That would be cool. I would love that. Yeah, there really wasn't much to talk about in my last 4 hours. I guess I did some dances with my coworkers to entertain one of the cashiers who seemed to be down in the dumps. Yeah, I was just nice and friendly to everybody and had a great attitude most of the time, other than that first half of the day where I was peeved about being called another coworker's name. But I got over that. All right, well, I arrived back home, and when I got back, my family friend made me and my mom and her tortas, which was a well-seasoned meat with lettuce, tomatoes, in bolio bun, I believe is what it's called, or bolio, is it? I don't know how to pronounce it. Those buns you get for like 50 cents at the grocery store in like a little plastic container you open. I really enjoyed that. Very good. Yeah. And I was enjoying that while listening to a guy who claimed he was abducted by aliens, which was fun and interesting listen. It was like a really famous book with the front cover being like an alien creature that apparently caught the attention of a lot of supposed abductees, which was pretty interesting. And this guy was talking about like all sorts of stuff. I mean, you can watch it on Watch Mojo's YouTube channel. I think he's the author of the book called Communion, and apparently that front cover is supposedly what the extraterrestrials look like, which is basically just 2 ginormous eyeballs with like a flat head and like a thin nose and a big like lipless smile. That's my impression of them. Okay, and then we finished Despicable Me 4 together. Very fun last 50 or 45 minutes of the movie. Yeah, it was cute. It was fun. It was nice. I liked it. And then I decided to look at the box office for the movie on Wikipedia, and apparently it still did really good. It did about as well as the second Despicable Me movie, which is to say both Despicable Me 2 and 4 made 971 or somewhere in that ballpark $1 million. Although the second one had like a $65-75 million budget, while the fourth one had a $100 million budget. So the second one made a bit more of a profit, but still, that's definitely nothing to sneeze at for an anime film, especially produced at a much cheaper price than the competition. And then after that, I decided to record this update video. And now I'm probably just going to take vitamins, brush my teeth, maybe listen to the rest of that interview with the writer of Book Communion, and then I'm going to go to sleep because I'm very tired. I was planning on doing more editing on that motion comic, but to be honest, I'm so exhausted from the day's work that I think I'll just work on it tomorrow. I do have tomorrow off, but of course there's plenty of other things I gotta do tomorrow. I'm expected to do some recycling. I would like to get some new work shoes because my old work shoes are busted. And there's probably a third thing I'm forgetting right now, but yeah, those are the two top things. Well, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Many great memories were had today, especially a conversation I had with a former coworker who was turned a caring assistant to older folks. And we were having a nice chit chat back and forth about where we're at in our lives, and it was pretty cool. Love it when that sense of community is restoked and reawakened. All right, well, I'm tired and I'm going to bed soon. So good night, everybody, and have yourselves a fantastic rest of your night. I will see you in the next video.